Have you ever felt the desire was still there, but your erection just didn't show up? You've been working out, eating, right? Maybe even taking supplements, yet something still feels off down there. If that's you, you're not alone. The truth is, most men over 50 think they're just getting older, but what's really happening might shock you. In this video, I'll show you the biological traps stealing your sexual strength and the proven natural ways to get it back. Stick with me until the end, and you'll walk away with a 6-week plan to rebuild your confidence and erection. No pills and no gimmicks. If you've ever had similar struggles or questions, drop a 1 in the comments so I know you're here and I'll personally follow up with more answers. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more honest, real talk about men's health. Reveal, take a breath, and picture the last time you felt truly unstoppable in the bedroom. Now ask yourself, why does that confidence fade for so many men after 50? It isn't just getting older. Inside your body, 3 silent shifts are pulling the rug out from under your erections, often years before you notice anything else. Why your erection is a warning sign, not just about sex, but your heart. You've seen by now that exercise alone doesn't always fix the problem. You can work out, eat clean, even take the right supplements, and still feel like something's off. Why? Because true sexual vitality doesn't just come from effort. It comes from understanding what's silently breaking down inside your body. Let's talk about the hidden triad that slowly robs men of their sexual power after 50. First, testosterone. Starting around age 40, your levels drop by 1 to 2% every year, according to the Endocrine Society. And that drop doesn't just lower your desire, it reduces nitric oxide production, weakens your pelvic muscles, and dulls the very signals your brain uses to initiate arousal. Ask yourself honestly, do you still wake up with strong morning erections like you did in your 30s? If not, that's not just aging, it's a biochemical shift. Second, your pelvic floor. These deep stabilizing muscles act like a blood lock for your penis, literally keeping blood inside the erectile tissue during arousal. But when they weaken, like they often do from years of sitting or inactivity, blood escapes too quickly. It's like pumping air into a tire with a loose valve. No matter how hard you try, the pressure won't hold. And third, nitric oxide, or more specifically, the lack of it. No is the molecule that tells your penile arteries to expand, flood the chambers with blood, and sustain the erection. But after 50, oxidative stress and sedentary living reduce the enzyme that creates no enos. When no drops, you lose the ability to show up with strength and reliability. You might feel turned on, but nothing happens. Let's connect the dots low. Testosterone leads to low nitric oxide, which leads to weakened pelvic control. This isn't just a single issue, it's a downward spiral. And if you don't interrupt it, it doesn't just affect your sex life, it begins to touch every system connected to your vascular health. Which brings us to a hard truth: erections are not just a sexual function, they're a diagnostic tool. They're a signal. Your penis is powered by the smallest arteries in your entire body, narrower even than your coronary arteries. That means those arteries get clogged first. In fact, erectile dysfunction often shows up years before a cardiac event. Studies back this up. 70 to 80% of all cases of ED are tied to diabetes, hypertension, or vascular damage. A meta-analysis from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that men with ED were 2 to 3 times more likely to suffer a heart attack. Harvard Health reports that ED often appears 3 to 5 years before a major cardiovascular event. That's not a coincidence, it's a warning. Here's a real example. William, 58, he began noticing he couldn't stay hard when changing positions. He chalked it up to stress. 2 years later, he was in surgery. Doctors found 70% blockage in his left anterior descending artery, the one they call the widowmaker. So what can you do? Start with awareness. Track how often you wake with morning wood. Notice how long your erection lasts, how firm it gets, and how consistent your response is. Then take action. Get your cholesterol checked. Run your HbA1c to see if your blood sugar is silently damaging your vessels. Check both free and total testosterone. And if symptoms persist, request a Doppler ultrasound to evaluate blood flow in the penis directly. Because understanding what's failing is how we take back control. And once you know the mechanism, the next step is to eliminate the daily habits and biological deficits that are draining your power often without you realizing it. You now know the three foundational causes of sexual decline and how your erection is more than a bedroom issue. It's a mirror of your heart. But what if I told you there are things you do every day, things as simple as how you sit, that could be shutting off your nitric oxide and killing your circulation without you even knowing? That's exactly where we're heading next. You work out, eat, clean, stay hydrated. So, why are you still going soft? You exercise, you eat well, you stay hydrated. Maybe you even take supplements. So why, when it matters most, does your erection still fall short? Here's the truth, you're not weak. You're just missing a key ingredient. And no, it's not testosterone. It's something your body needs to trigger an erection in the first place. It's called nitric oxide. This tiny molecule controls one massive function blood vessel dilation. Without nitric oxide, your arteries can't expand. And if they don't expand, blood can't rush into your penis to fill the erectile chambers. No blood flow, no erection. Here's how it works. When your brain senses arousal, it signals your parasympathetic nervous system. That system sends a message to the endothelial lining of your blood vessels, telling them to release nitric oxide. That's the signal that unlocks blood flow. Think of nitric oxide as the green light for arousal. Now, testosterone doesn't cause erections directly, but it does help activate the enzyme enos, which creates nitric oxide in your blood vessels. Testosterone supports desire, but nitric oxide delivers performance. So why does nitric oxide drop as we age? Several reasons, and most of them are modern lifestyle habits. First, smoking. It damages the inner lining of your blood vessels, reducing nitric oxide production. Second, chronic stress and poor sleep. They spike cortisol, which disrupts your HPG axis, the hormonal loop responsible for testosterone and nitric oxide synthesis. Third, a poor diet. If you're not eating nitrate-rich foods like leafy greens or beets, your body lacks the raw materials to make nitric oxide naturally. And finally, lack of movement. When you sit too much and move too little, your circulation slows, your vessels become stiff, and your nitric oxide system falls asleep. So what can you do? Start with nasal breathing. Unlike mouth breathing, inhaling through your nose stimulates nitric oxide release in the sinuses. Next, load up on foods rich in natural nitrates, beetroot, spinach, arugula. These convert into nitric oxide inside your body. Add in 20 to 30 minutes of light cardio daily. Walking, cycling, or swimming helps regenerate vascular flexibility and stimulate endothelial health. And don't underestimate the power of sleep. Deep, uninterrupted rest lowers cortisol, supports your hormonal rhythm, and allows your nitric oxide machinery to recover. Because here's the bottom line, you're not lacking effort, you're lacking the fuel. And until your blood is coated with the right signals, your erection won't know when or how to show up. The hidden killer beneath your couch, a habit that's silently crushing your erections. Let me ask you something. Are you sitting right now? And how long have you been sitting? An hour or two? Maybe longer? If so, I hate to break it to you, but your penis is sitting too, and it's suffocating. Prolonged sitting, especially without standing up every 60 to 90 minutes, compresses the blood vessels in your pelvic region. And when blood flow is restricted, your erections suffer. Remember, penile arteries are incredibly small and sensitive. They're the first to lose function under pressure. Even just a few hours of reduced circulation day after day slowly erodes your body's ability to achieve a full erection. But it's not just sitting, it's how you sit. Tight underwear and jeans apply constant pressure to the groin. Slouched posture, hunched over a screen, collapses your pelvic angle and restricts blood drainage. Now imagine stacking a cigarette on top of that posture. You're not just choking off nitric oxide, you're literally tightening the noose around your sexual circulation. But here's the good news. The fix is easier than you think. Stand up at least once every 45 minutes. Take 60 seconds to loosen your hips. Breathe deep. Expand your chest. Reopen the vessels that have collapsed under pressure. Do a few gentle squats or walk around the room. That motion sends a wake-up call to your pelvic floor muscles and signals your vascular system to re-engage. It may sound simple, but this small shift can reignite blood flow to areas that have been starving in silence. Because you don't need more pills. You don't need to chase another solution. You just need to stand up before your penis loses the ability to do the same. A good erection doesn't mean you're safe. It could be a cardiovascular warning sign. You might think you're in the clear because you can still get it up. The hardness seems okay. The duration is passable. But what if your erection is actually trying to warn you? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The arteries in your penis are the smallest in your body. That means they're the first to show signs of damage long before your heart does. If your erection isn't quite as firm, fades too fast, or takes longer to build, your blood flow is already compromised. And if your blood flow is struggling down there, it could soon be struggling everywhere. The American Heart Association notes that erectile dysfunction ED often appears 3 to 5 years before major cardiac events like a heart attack or stroke. The Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that men with ED are 2 to 3 times more likely to suffer heart-related complications. Here's a real-world example. A 57-year-old man starts noticing he can't maintain an erection unless everything's perfect, the lights, the angle, the mood. He brushes it off. 2 years later, he suffers a heart attack behind the wheel. In many cases, men who've had strokes or cardiac surgeries in their 50s or 60s had ED for years but never got checked because they were still able to perform. Sometimes. That's the trap, thinking good enough is safe enough. So what can you do? Start with screening every 6 months. Make it a routine. Lipid panel, total cholesterol, LDL, HDL, blood sugar, HbA1c for prediabetes or diabetes, total and free testosterone, penile Doppler ultrasound if ED symptoms persist or worsen. This isn't just about protecting your sex life, it's about protecting your life, period, because your erection didn't betray you, it warned you. The question is, were you listening? Proven ways to reactivate your erection, straight from urology experts. So, after everything we've talked about, what can you do to turn things around? The good news is there are solutions, clinically proven, drug-free, and trusted by urologists treating everything from age-related ED to post-surgical recovery. Here are 3 techniques that help reactivate your erectile function by targeting the root causes, not just the symptoms. Number 1, Kegel exercises strengthen your blood-holding muscles. Your pelvic floor muscles are like the clamps that hold blood in place once it enters your penis. If those muscles are weak, the blood leaks out and the erection collapses. Here's how to train them. Squeeze the same muscles you'd use to stop your urine midstream. Hold the contraction for 5 seconds, then relax for 5 seconds. Repeat 10 times per session, 3 sessions per day. Be sure not to tense your abs or glutes. Focus purely on that internal muscle deep in the pelvis. Over time, stronger pelvic floor muscles mean longer, firmer, more reliable erections. Number 2, vacuum pump. Restore blood flow and erectile reflex. A vacuum erection device uses gentle negative pressure to draw blood into the penis. This can help if your circulation is sluggish or your vessels need retraining. It works by stimulating tissue regeneration and enhancing vascular responsiveness. To use it safely 2 to 3 times per week, no more than 10 to 15 minutes per session. Always apply lubricant. Choose a pump with a pressure release valve. Never exceed the recommended time or you risk bruising or tissue damage. Number 3, penile extender, length and function reboot. This lightweight device applies controlled stretch to the penis over time. It's not just about length, it also encourages vascular remodeling and structural repair. Clinical studies show that using a penile extender 1 to 2 hours a day consistently for 3 to 6 months can result in significant gains in both length and erectile function. Key tips is choose a properly fitted device. Follow a progressive plan, don't rush. Pair it with healthy circulation habits for best results. Here's what matters most. All 3 solutions are natural, non-invasive, and backed by science. But knowing them isn't the same as doing them. Consistency, not complexity, is what restores function. Your body wants to recover. You just have to give it the right signal, the right support, and the right time. All right, take a breath with me. Because what you've just heard wasn't just information, it was a wake-up call. We've talked about why your body changes after 50. We've looked inside your blood vessels, your pelvic muscles, your testosterone levels. But this next part is the most important, what you do from here. I know you don't need another medical lecture. What you need is a path Something clear, practical, actionable, a way to take what you feel right now and turn it into change you can actually see and feel in your own body. So here's what I want to give you: a 6-week plan built from real clinical recovery programs used in hospitals, in post-op rehab, and in top urology practices. And it works not because it's magical, but because it's simple, scientific, and doable. You don't need to flip your life upside down. You just need 15 to 30 minutes a day in the right sequence. Let me walk you through it step by step. Week 1 and 2, we're resetting the system. You'll start tracking your erection quality: how often, how strong, how long. You'll begin basic Kegel exercises, 10 squeezes, 3 times a day. We'll fix your sleep, cut the junk, let your body breathe again. Your goal: rebuild that connection between your brain and your pelvic floor. That's where it starts. Week 3 and 4. Now we boost your nitric oxide, the molecule that literally unlocks blood flow. You'll load up on foods rich in nitrates: spinach, beets, kale. You'll move more: 20 minutes of walking, cycling, swimming each day. And yes, Kegels continue. This is where you start to feel the difference. More sensitivity, more fullness, more response. Week 5 and 6. This is where we activate deep recovery. Vacuum therapy, just 10 to 15 minutes a few times a week, pulls blood into the penis, restores vascular memory, helps rebuild tissue. And if you want to go further, we add a penile extender, not just for length, but for strength, volume, and long-term blood flow. Each of these methods has been tested, refined, and trusted by urologists worldwide. But here's the truth: they only work if you show up. So this isn't for men who've lost it. It's for men who are ready to reclaim it, to write a new chapter with strength, with clarity, with pride. And I want you to start today. I've linked the full 6-week plan right below, completely free. You'll get the exact steps for each week. Clear, straightforward, real. Because if you've felt your body slipping, if you've noticed that things aren't quite the same, you don't need to wait for it to get worse. Start now, because the sooner you do, the sooner your body will thank you for it. And I'll be right here with you every step of the way. So now you know what's been missing. You've got the facts, you've got the plan, but more importantly, you've got a choice. A man doesn't lose his edge because he's aging. He loses it when he gives up on himself. Your sexual health didn't vanish. It's still there, quiet, waiting, and absolutely ready to return if you're ready to meet it halfway. And you're not alone in this. This channel was built for men like you. Men who refuse to accept decline as destiny. Men who want real science-based strategies to rebuild, recover, and reclaim their edge one step at a time. So if that's you, don't just watch. Subscribe to the channel so you always receive the most useful information soonest. Because every week we dive deeper with expert-backed insights, practical action plans, and real talk on health that no one else is saying out loud.